If you keep supporting the club from underneath like this, a big present is going to arrive later on. Hello everyone, I'm Kenyu from Japan. Lately, maybe because I ate way too much mochi over the new year, I've noticed something interesting. During my swing, my arms have started to relax naturally, and at the same time, the club face has become much more stable. I felt a really big change, so today I want to share this with you purely based on my own experience and bias. So this is not the one correct answer, so please understand that. Actually, I don't even think there is a single correct answer. I'd rather you watch this thinking. There is no absolute truth. No matter what kind of swing you are aiming for in the future, if this part is missing, things can go pretty wrong. So, if this helps even a little, I'll be happy. The most important thing is this. Don't grip the club by pressing down on it from above. Just support it from underneath. If you feel tension or tightness around here, you might be pressing down from the top without realizing it. Please check that. If you keep practicing while pressing down like this, more and more tension builds up in your shoulders and arms. And before you know it, your neck disappears at address, and you end up looking like a Gundam. Seriously, it becomes that kind of stiff address. So again, don't press from above, support from underneath. Honestly, it might even be okay to over-support it. When you support the club from underneath, you can actually wait for the club to fall. You can swing with a really nice level of relaxation. And because it becomes difficult to hit at the ball, your wrists stop overworking, and the club face starts to feel much more stable. And before, the club was always below me, so I was gripping it by pressing down, and when it was time to hit, I'd force it even more with my arms. When that happens, you can't use your wrist softly anymore. You feel like you have to manipulate the club face yourself, which creates instability. That leads to inconsistent impact. And then, because you are not hitting it well, you try to control it even more with strength, and that's how the vicious cycle starts. Whether you are conscious of it or not, this happens as a physical reaction. So by continuing to support the club from underneath and letting it be free, the club starts to move on its own. And when you match your movement to the club's natural rhythm, the club face stabilizes and the tension in your arms fades away. So on top of that, that habit of rushing from the inside and crashing into the ball decreased dramatically. So now, let's talk about the specific feel, starting with the grip. First, the left hand. Feel the weight mainly in the bottom 3 fingers, the pinky, ring finger, and middle finger. Your wrist should be completely loose, no tension at all. If you only use those 3 fingers, it feels too unstable. So lightly stabilize it using the pad at the base of the pinky along with those fingers. Next, the right hand. Same thing, just support from underneath with the bottom 3 fingers. So now try setting up and hitting shots while lifting both thumbs and index fingers off the grip like this. Next is a takeaway. As you take the club back, keep feeling the weight underneath and make sure you don't lose that sensation. Try taking the club back while feeling both hands supporting from below. You should notice your left side compressing slightly. Not like this, because that stretches the left side too much. When I did this, something huge changed at the top. Before, around this position, I'd naturally start resting the grip on my thumb. When I did that, my wrist tended to bend backward at the top. that created tension, and the club would come down too steeply from the top. I even tried consciously bowing my wrist like Dustin Johnson to close the face, but honestly, that wasn't necessary. If you keep feeling the club's weight underneath without resting it on the thumb, by the time you reach the top, your wrist naturally moves into a good position. In reality, because of momentum, the grip does eventually rest on the thumb. But mentally, it should feel like the grip only lightly touches the thumb at the very last moment. Let the club stay free until then. I used to think I needed to coil my body more and more to get a deep top position, but now I think stopping where you can still feel the club supported from underneath is more than enough. From the perspective of minimizing body movement and letting the club head move instead, this feels like a swing I can enjoy for a long time, especially since my gut isn't great either. And here's the big present I mentioned earlier. When you support the club from underneath, if you try to hit from the top, there's only one thing you can do. Drop your arms. The club has no choice but to fall with them. From the top, you will feel your arms drop effortlessly while staying relaxed. It feels amazing, so please keep practicing it. I've tried to relax many times before, but it never worked. I thought it was just a matter of willpower, but that wasn't it. I simply wasn't prepared to relax. At the address, I was already gripping the club by pressing down on it. So, at the top, the only option left was to force my arms toward impact. I couldn't wait for the club to fall naturally. And when that happens, the club doesn't do its job at all. No matter how much you try to relax, if you are pressing down from above, you have to hit with your arms. That makes wrist angles unstable, leads to cuts or scoops, and ironically, too much freedom in the worst way. Then you try to control it again with more tension, and that's how you end up with a Gundam-like address, wondering where am I going to go. So, when you support from underneath, it becomes harder to rush inside or hit at the ball. You will naturally want to drop your arms on your right side without spinning your hips, and I think that's a great feeling. My habit of lunging at the ball from the top has significantly decreased by sticking with this. From the top, the club falls, and it gains momentum. The club head pulls your body into rotation, and you arrive at impact smoothly. Even at impact, don't press down from above. Keep supporting from underneath. Compare it to swinging as hard as possible while pressing down. Simply supporting from underneath and dropping your arms actually increases head speed and distance. That's when you get good tension at impact. Even without gripping hard, or even with your thumbs off, you can hit the ball just fine. Relax, drop the arms. That's it. There is no need to consciously roll the right wrist or manipulate the club face. Just keep supporting from underneath, let the club come down, and arrive at impact. My club face stability has improved dramatically, and the curvature of my misses has narrowed a lot. Of course, the ball doesn't always go exactly where I aim, but the left-right dispersion is much tighter. And once that happens, you start thinking, maybe I can swing even more freely. So, back in the Obama era, I used to believe I had to roll my right wrist to square the face, but during the transition, the left wrist naturally stays firm, which already closes the face. So, if you just let the club pass through without manipulating it, the ball squares itself. Conclusion: rolling the right wrist is unnecessary. But if someone had told beginner me to do this, I probably couldn't have. Now I have some ability to square the face naturally, so this works for me. Which means the image of how to drop the arms to square the ball matters, and that's something I'd like to talk about another time. So, as I sit here eating kinako mochi, I'm thinking about what order I would teach this into beginners. If you keep practicing this, your follow-through will start looking really good. If you relax at the top but press down at impact, your follow-through shrinks. So even after impact, imagine you're still supporting from underneath. Hit, then follow. And when it feels like you can't go any farther, fold the elbow naturally and finish. Never consciously roll the wrists. Just support from underneath all the way to the finish. So here's the conclusion. Support the club firmly from underneath. Never press down from above. Take the club back without twisting your arms. Don't force the grip onto the thumb at the top. Let the arms and club drop naturally on the right side. Let the body rotate naturally into impact. Keep supporting from underneath through impact and follow through. Finish with a big, connected follow, not a collapsed one. Keep giving the club freedom. That's where most of the winning lottery tickets are hidden. Alright, let's enjoy our practice. Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。